In this video, I want to go over one of the biggest levers you can pull if you're an online coach trying to grow your business through social media, and that is going to be inbound DM setting, right? And it's going to change absolutely everything if you're not doing it already. We launched our funnel, which is this funnel right here, for one of our clients, started booking 1 to 2 calls per day. However, as soon as we implemented DM setting and added that to the equation, we literally, on average, we tripled to quadrupled the calls we're getting, and we're now even hitting 10 call days, right? And so in this video, I want to show you guys exactly what the principles are of DM setting that we are using to get these kind of results. And I'm going to give away a script that you guys can just plug and play to hopefully get some killer results, right? So DM conversations is where most of our clients, as in like my clients and my business partners' clients, and then where most of our clients' come from, right? So as you can see, like this is the client that's getting 10 calls a day with DMs. Some of our other clients are also getting calls booked from DMs using this exact same framework that I'm going to show you. And it's also letting us get DM closes too, right? So that's pretty damn cool. And if you're not making as much money as you want, chances are it's just because you're not having enough conversations. And right now, if you aren't doing what I'm about to show you, or you don't have a step-by-step framework that you're following and you're just freestyling through all the conversations that you're having, then you are probably leaving a lot of money on the table. Right, I'm willing to bet that most of you guys watching this, you guys have thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars sitting in your Instagram DMs, just waiting to be reached out to, waiting to be contacted, and waiting to be, converted if they have a problem. So, just to give you guys a bit of background, right? This is the funnel that we are running right now for all of our clients, and where DM setting takes place is right here, right? This is the setter. So basically, we run ads, their follower ads, their DM ads. They go straight to your Instagram page, and then from there, the setter can reach out, right? And the setter is going to reach out to all new followers, right? Because these are follower ads. And obviously, if somebody DMs us through the IGDM ads, we already have a conversation going on with them, right? And that is where the DM setting sort of comes in here. And then what's going to happen is we're going to qualify them a little bit, and then we're going to book them on a call, right? Or we can direct them to our YouTube. We can direct them to other resources that we have, which will hopefully also ultimately lead to calls. So everybody who engages, right, is a prospect who needs to be reached out to, right? They are literally raising their hand and admitting that they need help, right? So grab the fishing rod and start fishing. Basically, imagine this pond as your Instagram profile, okay? And then in this pond, you have your followers, you have your inbound DMs, you have your story engagers, and you have your normal post engagers, right? So anybody who likes your content, who shares your content, or who follows, or who comments, they are now prospects, okay? And they're just sitting there on your Instagram profile waiting to be contacted. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to start fishing, right? So we're going to take the fishing rod and we're going to see which of these people are interested and which of these people are looking for help, right? And the beauty is, obviously, not all of these people are going to be willing to buy straight away, right? But because you have them as a follower, because they're in your DMs and you sent them a free asset, because they're sort of in your world now, and because like the pond that they're in is literally your Instagram page, with time, these people are going to be more and more pre-sold on what you're doing, and they're going to be more likely to actually buy, right? Because if you don't start reaching out to these people, then this pond like is just gonna grow with more and more fish, but you're not actually gonna be doing anything with these people, right? And you can spend more on ads, you can post more content, you can do everything you like, but if you're not having conversations with these people, then a lot of them just aren't gonna convert, right? Some people will book a call by themselves, right? I'm not saying that they won't. With Antonio, we were getting 1 to 2 calls booked every single day. However, a lot of people will need to be reached out to. Like every single high ticket program that I've ever bought was from somebody reaching out to me after I followed them, after I DM'd them, right? It was never actually once it was me reaching out to them, but for the most part, I usually just follow the person and see if they're going to reach out, right? So like if you're not doing that, you're leaving money on the table. So how do you actually find people to reach out to? I don't want to go too deeply into this because that could be a whole separate, 5 hour long video on its own. But basically, you want to post stories to find engagers. You can post stories with call to actions. You can post stories with polls, and everybody who engages on these polls is a prospect that you can reach out to based on their answers, right? So you can ask like, what are you struggling with most? Based on the answers, you can reach out and say like, hey, I actually have a video that solves this problem for you, right? And I have a conversation going on, and you've provided value already. You can post content to find engagers, so anybody who likes, anybody who comments, anybody who shares. You can reach out to these people and say like, hey, I appreciate the support on this video. What stood out about it to you? Or you can just say, I appreciate the support, and then pivot the conversation towards more of a sales conversation, which I'll show you in a second. Or you can run ads to find engagers, right? Which is the main top of the funnel source that we're using. IG follower ads, IGDM ads. And also you can run retargeting ads too. So basically retargeting ads, anybody who follows, anybody who DMs, they're going to be getting hit again with retargeting ads that are going to be directing them either to your VSL or to your Instagram DMs, right? Which is going to make it easier for you or for the setter to reach out to them. So what is the actual framework that we use, right? Our framework is actually really, really, really short, okay? Because a good rule of thumb is to make the sequence as short as you possibly can while still getting all the important bits and pieces of information that you need, okay? Because DM setting isn't about what you say. What you say won't impact the response rate. However, what will impact your response rate and then your conversion rate ultimately is what you hear from the prospect. That's the most important part, right? So after the intro is probably the easiest part. Very non-salesy. You want to thank them for the follow and end it off with a question, right? So you can say something like, hey, I appreciate the support. What's up? Hey, I don't think we've spoken before. What's up? Or just, hey, what's up, right? You just want to start a convo. Or even in the first message, you can say like, hey, I appreciate the support. Are you trying to lose weight right now? If you're a fitness coach, right? How are you doing on your journey or whatever? What stood out to you about my profile? What sort of motivated you to follow my page? Right? Just start a very normal conversation, okay? We're going to transition soon, right? But right now, we just need to get a conversation going on, right? So once you have a conversation and they've replied, if they haven't, you have some follow-ups like, hey, did you get my message? Once again, it doesn't matter what you say. If they're going to respond to you, they're going to respond either way, no matter what words you use. It's all about what you need to hear from them, right? So after you've started the conversation, there are three main pieces of information that we need to gather, okay? We need to find out about their current situation, we need to find out about their desired situation, and then their pain. So what we need them to admit their current situation so that there is a point A, right? Then we need them to say what their desired situation is, right? And we usually do it in this order too because it's just the easiest. Boom. So we need them to admit that there's a gap. This is a gap, right? And your program is going to be the one thing that bridges that gap for them, right? And then we need them to admit that there's something that's stopping them from getting there, right? Because there's a reason they're not at point B yet. There's a reason why they're still at point A, and we need them to admit what that is, all right? So as I said, your success rate doesn't depend on what you say. It's about what you need to hear from them, right? And the main thing is we need to figure out what the gap between where they are, so point A, and where they want to go, so point B is, okay? Because that will allow us to position either the resources you're going to send them or the call or even your product if you're closing the DMs as the solution that bridges the gap that they admitted to. So the three questions they want to ask are first, like, how is that going, right? After you find out that they followed you for X or Y or Z reason, right? Because there's a reason that they followed you. There's a reason why they DM'd you. You can start a conversation and you can ask sort of, you know, after you say what's up, they say everything's good. You can ask them like, are you trying to lose weight because you followed a fitness coach? Are you an online coach trying to grow your business because you followed another coach or an agency, right? Or are you an agency because you followed a coach, right? You literally ask them who they are, right? Because there's obviously a reason that they followed you. The reason is that they have a pain point that you spoke to in the ad or in your content, and they resonated with that, right? So you want to ask them like sort of who they are, and then after they say like, okay, cool, I'm an agency owner or I'm trying to lose weight right now, then you literally just ask them how is that going, right? And after they tell you how it's going, that's point A, right? After they tell you how that's going, next question you want to ask is where do you want to be, right? Or something like what are you shooting for by the end of the year is a good one that I like to use. Or let's see what else we do. Where do you want to be? What are you shooting for by the end of the year? Where are you trying to take this to? Right? Just questions like that. The wording really doesn't matter. It depends on what they answer, right? So you'll get their point A with the first question, then you'll get their point B with the desired situation, and then the third question they ask is you want to figure out that roadblock right in the middle, okay? And that's going to be with question number 3, which is going to be, okay, cool, man. Well, what's stopping you from getting there, right? Or, well, cool, how do you plan to get there? Right? Because oftentimes people are going to realize like, oh shit, I don't have a plan, right? And then you just literally confirm that gap and confirm that they have a problem. Or another one that I really like, especially if you're doing B2B, because B2B people don't like to admit that they have pain points or that they have problems. You can say something along the lines of, okay, cool, well, what isn't working as well as it could be right now to get you to that desired solution and to that desired outcome faster, right? And those are basically the 3 questions you want to ask, okay? And in that order, it just makes it really, really easy. Because if you start off with the pain point, you're just like, hey, what's up? I'm good. Okay, cool. What are you struggling with, right? People just aren't going to respond. Okay, whereas if first you ask them like how you're doing, then you ask them about their desired situation, then these people are going to be way more inclined to actually give you their pain because now they trust you and they see they actually care because you asked about their current situation, their desired situation, and only then are you digging into pain, right? And it's going to be perceived way more genuine if you do it in this order, which is what I've seen, right? Cool. So that is the information gathering phase, which is where we're getting leverage. Okay. So basically, first message is supposed to be a little thingy. Boom. First message is literally the intro or the connecting message. Second and third, or maybe even fourth, right? The next couple of messages are where you're getting leverage, right? And that leverage is what we're going to use when we're sending over our resources, when we're asking them over for a call, or when we're asking them for a close, right? Because if you don't have this leverage, then how can you give them an incentive to watch your training, to jump on a call? You can't, right? And even if you somehow could, they won't, because they haven't seen that you care, all right? So then we're building leverage, and then the next part is going to be value, okay? And that's both the value of the free resources that you send and the value of the call they're going to propose. Okay, so let's get into that. Sending resources, right? And this is getting into value, as I said over here, right? So at this point, what we could do is we could offer them a call, right? Because you know where they are, you know where they want to go, you know what's stopping them, and you have enough information to theoretically invite them to a call, right? And if they are super warm and excited to work with you, to talk to you, you can do that if you can tell from the conversation that they're down for a call. Like obviously you don't want to waste any more time, you can just invite them to the call, but usually they're not going to be super excited, okay? And if we offer them a call straight away, there's a lower chance that they're going to accept it because we haven't built enough value and we haven't built enough reciprocity for them to accept such a big ask, okay? Especially if you're in B2B, like these people get pitched so often. If you haven't provided enough value, they're just not going to hop on a call with you, right? Because they're, one, extremely busy, and two, they get pitched all the freaking time, okay? Plus, even if they do accept it and they show up to the call, your job is going to be so much harder to close them if you skip this step because they haven't seen enough value from you, right? They don't see you as an authority because they haven't seen enough value from you, and they don't know what your unique mechanism of getting results is, right? Which is also going to decrease your closing rate, right? Because you're going to have to explain everything on the call. They're not going to be pre-sold at all, and you're just making your own job really, really difficult. So what we do is we just send them over a resource or two, positioning it as a source of value based on the answers that they gave you in the leverage building mode, right? This is where we're going to actually use these answers while giving them the value, okay? Because you got to remember, like, them watching a video is still a pretty big ask, right? So you got to incentivize them to watch, right? So an example of a message is, I actually have a video going over this exact topic based on where you're at right now, based on the answers you gave me, based on the fact that you're trying to get to 150 pounds or whatever the weight goal is that you found out from the leverage phase, based on where you're at right now or based on where you want to go, I think it would be hella valuable to you. Is it cool if I send it over, right? And then we ask for permission to, right? So we use their past answers based on where you're at right now. Let me draw this really nice here. Boom. Based on where you're at right now, I think it would be hella valuable. Is it cool if I send it over, right? So we ask for permission. And the reason we ask for permission is because it increases compliance. Right, that's a little plus over here. Okay, because if you just send over a video, the likelihood that they're going to watch it is pretty low. But if we get them saying like, yeah, I want that video, then the chance they're going to watch it is going to be higher because you will have gotten the first yes from them, right? And when you get the first yes, it's easier to get the second yes, right? Because of the, what's it called? Because of the consistency bias, that's what it's called. Basically, if a human says no, then they're more inclined to tell you a second no. Well, if they say yes 4 times, then the 50 yes is going to be way easier to get, right? So then you send them the resource, obviously, right? And then after they watch it and after they reply, and you feel like they're warm enough, then you can set up a call, okay? Because they've seen the video. They know what your process is. They trust you now. And the likelihood that they're going to hop on a call with you after they've seen the resource, if the resource was good, is way higher, right? So setting up a call, this is still value, right? We're not selling them. The selling, like, ideally we shouldn't even have to sell them. It's just us proposing value and them accepting it because we know the value that we provide is exceptional, right? So now that you have leverage on them, so you know their current situation, the larger situation, what's stopping them from achieving it, and they know your unique mechanism to getting results, then you can invite them to a sales call, right? And the way you do this is by leveraging their past answers and positioning the call as a source of value, right? So a couple of the messages that we like to send is, I could definitely walk you through my process A to Z sometime this week of how I got the dream outcome that they're trying to get, if you'd like, or how my client got the dream outcome, if you'd like. Another one is after they've seen your free resource, which can be your VSL, you can say like, glad it was helpful, man. If you're open to it, I could definitely walk you through how I solved the pain point and got the dream outcome more in depth sometime this week, okay? And you know, this is good because you are not saying like, let's hop on a call. You're just asking for a walkthrough, right? You're positioning as value because you're saying that you're going to walk them through in depth your process so you're giving value, and you're leveraging their past answers once again, right? Because you got to give people an incentive, right? If people don't have an incentive to hop on the call, they won't hop on the call, right? And you using their past answers and positioning the call as a source of value is going to give them that incentive, right? So after they say yes, you can be like, okay, cool. And here you want to basically say, can I drop my link here? My calendar here, I should take calendar, doesn't matter. And here, once again, we ask for permission because it increases compliance. And then after you have permission, then you send your link and then they book a call, right? So cool, here it is, drop the link. And then you want to also give them a little call to action at the end, right? So they don't ghost you. Let me know when you find a slot so I can confirm on my end. Cool, and then they book, right? And if they don't book, you have some follow-ups. Like, cool, did you find the slot that works for you? Did you manage to find the time? Whatever, right? The follow-ups don't matter because if they were going to respond, they're going to respond no matter what you say. All right, what's important is that you get all the important bits and pieces of information from them. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you guys got crazy value from it. Not sure how long or short this video is, but I think I went over everything that's important. You guys should have an idea of how to DM set and how we DM set for our clients and for ourselves, and how we sort of train our appointment setters to perform on KPI. So if you guys have any other questions, DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer them. And if you want to learn more about this funnel, right, this whole entire system that the setter is just a part of, then I have another video on my channel. I'll link it up at the end screen card or whatever here on YouTube, and you can go and watch that. I think that'll be crazy valuable for you. I think it's like 30 minutes long. I break everything down step by step, very in depth, very actionable. So yeah, I wanted to leave this video off here. If you guys enjoyed it, then subscribe, DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, and watch that video that I want to pull up right here, because I think it can be really, really valuable. And if you like this one, then you're going to like that one even more. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.